just a quick intro here. A lot of exciting stuff. I know Dalton's raring and ready to go over there with all his caffeine, but my name's Rob Valencius. I am the National Agent Trainer here at Pinnacle Financial Services, and we have a really good webinar with you guys today with our friends over RetireFlow. Now, I didn't want to do this on my own. I felt like I needed to get the big guns in here for you guys, and we have the president of RetireFlow, Dalton Miller, joining us, and he's going to be going over their platform, which is really, really cool, and kind of a new collaboration with our technology that just kind of came down the pipeline about a week or two ago now. So we're really excited about the integration and some of the really cool stuff that I know that they have going on behind the scenes. Before I turn this over to Dalton, keep in mind this is listen-only mode. Look, I know we've all done plenty of webinars since COVID started, right? Babies screaming, dogs barking, garage doors. I mean, people are in their cars, wherever they do webinars. So that does not mean you can't ask questions. I'm going to be monitoring the chat. You can ask me a question anytime, and we'll kind of get to a natural flow of questions when we get there. The other question I always get asked, yes, this is being recorded. The system actually automatically sends you out an automated link to the recording the following day. But if you want it beforehand, you let me know, and I'll get that over to you. So with that being said, I want to do the quick intro and get this over to my man, Dalton. Dalton, you good?
I'm great. Rob, it's a pleasure to be with you today and to be with Pinnacle Agents. I have the privilege of working with FMOs and agencies across the country. RetireFlow serves 15,000 Medicare and ACA agents across the country. And I've had the privilege of being with Bob and Rob and Angela at events all across the country. And when I'm with Pinnacle agents, I find that these are folks that are very, very well served. If you're on this webinar right now, it's because Rob's got your back and wants to make sure that you have a better AEP than you did last year. And we've been working in close collaboration with the Pinnacle team to release some very, very cool technological enhancements, which we're actually going to talk about here today, especially in collaboration with BOSS for agents, their brand new CRM, which by all metrics is getting 5-star reviews across the board. And one of the things that we're going to talk about here today is that RetireFlow and BOSS now work together. And so it's a really, really cool collaboration. And it's for agents who want to have better AEPs and OEPs, agents who want to work hard, but also not burn the midnight oil when they don't have to. And we're going to talk about why RetireFlow and BOSS and Connecture and Health Sherpa and all those things work together so well. And you may have seen stuff about us online. We're going to get into all those things today. So I'm Dalton. I'm the president and founder of RetireFlow. I also would put on there, I am personal friends with Rob and Bob. I should have had my Insurance 360 mug on here. Damn, I missed an opportunity there for some brand placement. I'm usually pretty good at that, but I've been on the podcast before. And so, but I come from an agency. I started working for that bald fella in the middle of this image, and we might have the same haircut here if I go through another couple AEPs. But my dad's started a Medicare agency in Columbus, Ohio. It's called Seniority Benefit Group, and he's been in the business for quite a while. And we proudly serve 25,000 Medicare beneficiaries with a supplement or advantage plan. We don't count PDPs and that. And even more staggeringly, we do that with just 8 sales agents. So pound for pound, we write a ton of business. And that's not to brag. It's actually to share that we developed a little problem for ourselves, which we call this problem the Debbie Dilemma. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Debbie. She's in charge of retention at our office. And when you serve 25,000 Medicare beneficiaries and they all call every fall and they want to shop because their neighbors got free golf clubs on their plan, or if they want to see if something's better, or God forbid they want to shop a PDP, that's collecting 25,000 drug lists. That's capturing 25,000 scopes. It was killing us. We could not survive. We were going to have to hire a call center or additional payroll to manage it. But instead, we wanted to develop something. And thus, we created RetireFlow. And what RetireFlow is, it's not complicated at all, is we make intake forms. That's what we do. Designed for both your brand new clients, people who are new to your business, and your existing clients who want to shop during AEP or OEP. That's what we do. So on our Medicare intake form, we capture drugs, doctors, hospitals, and pharmacies. We achieve permission to contact, and we capture that pesky scope of appointment form. And thankfully, and Rob will agree with me in this joy, thankfully that 48-hour rule is going away, but you still got to get that scope before the meeting. And on the drugs, the drug list that we capture dosage, quantity, frequency, package, brand of the generic. Everything that you need to go into Connect for Insurance, wink, wink, and run a quote. And that's one of the things we're going to talk about today, how RetireFlow is married to Connect for Insurance as well as BOSS. On the ACA side, we capture a couple different data points because it's a different product. We capture who's in the household, their drugs, doctors, and hospitals, their smoking status, their income level. We help you achieve permission to contact there, and then we capture the ACA consent form. And this is really, really important. If you write ACA, you should really, really consider using this. The reason why is the ACA consent form is growing in importance. This industry is wrought with fraud. People are being flipped from one plan to another without, proper context. And CMS has begun cracking down on capturing ACA consent forms. So if you find yourself in a scenario where a grievance is filed against you and you don't have a consent form to produce, you're in trouble. And Rob and I and the team at Pinnacle want to protect you from that. And so that's why we would highly recommend that you use this system as well. And it integrates with Health Sherpa. Pretty cool. So our goal in all of this is to design intake forms that give you everything you need to run a quote. That's really what we do. And our system is designed because I'm an agent. We work with 15,000 agents across the country. It's really easy to use. It's senior friendly. It's mobile friendly. It's just friendly. The font is humongous. It asks one question at a time. Your headshot and your logo are all over this thing. It does not look and feel like RetireFlow. It looks and feels like your agency. You can even change the colors of the survey to match your personal brand. Doesn't matter to us. We have an automatic Spanish translation system built right in. And by the way, all of us are going to go through the survey here in just a moment, so you can look and see and feel how the experience that your clients will have. But I think the most important thing that we do here at RetireFlow is in the bottom left-hand corner, is we take compliance very, very seriously. Our system is CMS compliant through the health plan management system. We're HIPAA compliant, and we're SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. And that is all to say that this data that we help you collect is yours and only yours. We can't see it. We don't want to see it. In fact, if you have a question about one of your clients' submissions on RetireFlow, you got to get on the horn with us and give us consent. I can't just log into my computer and look at what your client said. But on top of the data security that we take very seriously, we are also going to provide to you a compliant paper trail summarizing your client's answers to the questions. So let's say, in Rob, I don't know if this has ever happened to you in your agent career. I know it's happened to me. But you have a client who tells you that they take a torvastatin and Advair. Those are their two prescriptions. You enroll them in a plan and everything's fine. And then 6 months later, you get a grievance filed against you that says, you didn't tell the beneficiary if their Eliquis was covered or not. And you think back to yourself, you're like, oh my goodness, I don't remember them taking Eliquis. I could go back and look at a call recording that's way back in a library of all of my call recordings. Or you could have a time-stamped CMS compliant document with RetireFlow that says, here's what my client told me they took. And that's what I use to run my quotes and ultimately enroll. So we are there for you if you ever get a grievance filed against you. RetireFlow itself has unfounded thousands and thousands of grievances with these compliant reports as well. So without further ado, you know what? Actually, I got one more thing I want to share. Our system integrates seamlessly with Connecture, or to you, Connect for Insurance. So it is an absolutely deadly weapon in advance of AEP and OEP. You send the RetireFlow survey, collect all that good data via text or email or however you want. We'll go through that. You run your quote in Connecture, you enroll. It's that simple. And all of this data not only is going to go to Connecture, but it's also going to go right over to BOSS as well. And so I'm going to show you what that process looks like right now. So I don't know. Let's see here. Rob, you can still see my screen, right?
Yeah, you're good, sir.
Okay, great. So in RetireFlow, this is what you get when you sign up for RetireFlow. You get this dashboard where your surveys are. You might have one for Medicare, Connecture, and you might have one for ACA. But on our integrations page, look, right down here, right in the smack dab in the center, BOSS for agents. So if you're using BOSS, you can send data to not only Connecture, but also BOSS at the exact same time. So it's a deadly weapon. So let's do one as an example. So I'm going to head over to my survey like I'm a beneficiary. And this is what our surveys look like. Again, they are white labeled with your logo in the top left, your headshot, so it looks and feels like you. It doesn't say RetireFlow anywhere here. This is going to look and feel like your agency. If you have Google reviews, you can integrate them, your state licenses, your hometown, links to your social media if you want to. What we want to build is trustworthiness. You're going to send this to your client in advance of AEP and say, hey, if you want to shop, I need you to complete these 10 questions. That's it. It's 10 questions. So let's go through the survey. This is what our system looks like. It looks just as good on a phone or a tablet. In fact, 65% of the millions of submissions that we produce for agents across the country take place on a smartphone. Seniors are just getting better at this than they are their computers at home. Again, it automatically translates into Spanish. Hola, soy Dalton Miller. I don't speak Spanish, but RetireFlow does it for me. And so if you are in a market where you're serving Spanish speakers, this works just as well. So we'll go through this survey like I'm a beneficiary. So, hey, what's your legal name? You know what? Let's poke a little fun at Bob Brinsky. He's not 65, but we're going to make fun of him today. So what's your legal name? Bob Brinsky. He's going to be our client today. We love Bob. Hey, Bob, let's get started. We're going to ask for Bob's email. He's bob@pinnacle.com. I hope that's not his actual email. But folks, keep in mind, if your clients don't have an email, that's okay. They can skip it. So we're going to ask for Bob's address. Hey, Rob, you want to give me a real address in Philly while we're here?
Yeah, you can use our office address, 65 West Street Road.
Warminster?
Yes, sir.
So when Bob selects his address, and you're not off the hook yet, Rob, when Bob selects his address, it's going to auto-populate with his zip and his county. So he doesn't need to type it. You're still going to capture all that information. And it's going to power some of the searches that we've got coming up. We're going to ask for Bob's phone number and make one up for him. And then we're going to ask for Bob's date of birth. He was born on August 3rd, 1950. Man, I'm really dating him. He's turning 76 today. Sorry, Bob. We're going to ask for your preferred pharmacy. He can add up to 3, and it's going to take that zip, auto-populate it. So we're going to pull up some suggested pharmacies. Maybe Bob goes to CVS. But even your local pharmacies, as you can see, Maxwell, they're going to populate here as well. The same list that you're used to inside of BOSS and inside of Connecture are what's going to populate here in this list. Bob can even check that he uses a mail order pharmacy. Now we're going to take a look at Bob's current prescriptions. We're going to remind him, hey, go get your prescription bottles. This part's important. I have met with too many seniors in my life who go, I left my list of drugs at home. Do I need that? And you go, yeah. That's why I told you to bring it, right? Not here. Not a problem here on RetireFlow. We're going to have this helpful little graphic, tell him what we need. We remind Bob that we're not interested in his over-the-counters, vitamins, or supplements. I know, Bob, you're taking that fruit and vegetable pill from the news. We're not interested. We just need to know your prescriptions. So let's say Bob takes Lipitor. He types in the first couple letters, pops it right up to the top. There it is. Then we're going to ask Bob, does he really mean that he takes the generic atorvastatin? Let's say he does. Now he's got a drop-down menu of available dosages. And when he selects his available dosage, maybe that 40 milligram tablet, we're going to suggest to him a common user quantity and frequency. In this case, that's 30 tablets a month. But maybe Bob takes 90 every 3 months. He can edit those fields. Now, let's say Bob takes something else that doesn't come 30 pills a month. Maybe Bob's got asthma and he takes Advair and he takes a Discus. That doesn't come 30 pills a month, right? That's not how it works. So when Bob selects his dosage, it's going to auto-populate down here with the package. You're going to know it comes in a pack of aerosols, not 30 pills a month. Same for injectables, lotions, creams, Freestyle Libre, you name it. It's going to populate up down here. It's a really, really smart just to make sure that your beneficiaries know that they're putting in the right stuff. But let's say Bob takes Synthroid, another popular one among seniors. But this time, Bob forgets to put his dosage in. Come on, Bob. He tries to move forward. Not going to let him. Hey, Bob, I need this information if I'm going to do a nice job for you. So once he adds that dosage, he can now proceed through the survey. All of his information is correct. We're now going to learn about his doctors and his hospitals. We're going to ask for his preferred hospital or medical facility. So Rob, where might our friend Bob Brinsky go to the hospital?
You can do Doylestown, D-O-Y-L.
I love it. Let's
go.
take a look for Doylestown Hospital. There it is.
Boom.
Right there in Warminster. So if Bob's searching for his hospital or medical facility, it's going to come up. Again, same list that you're used to. But maybe Bob doesn't always live in Warminster. Maybe he's got family in Ohio that he lives with, and he wants to make sure that he can go to a hospital there, like Ohio State. All he has to do is change the zip code and search it up. There it is. Boom. Super easy for Bob. Florida, Arizona, wherever he retires, he can search for a hospital there as well. We're going to look for Bob's doctors. We break it apart, PCP and specialist. So maybe he sees a Dr. Jones. We're going to ask for first and last name. And he sees, let's look for a PCP, John here. Maybe that's he goes to a nurse practitioner for his PCP. And for a specialist, he sees Dr. Miller. And Dr. Miller is, I don't know, I'm just making this up, a radiologist. He can add a specialist. We remind Bob before he keeps going, don't forget dentists, optometrists, physical therapists, the doctors that you don't think of. You know, people think cardiologist, oncologist, but we want to make sure that we capture every doctor, make sure they're in network. Then lastly, we ask Bob, hey, anything else you want to share? This gives their beneficiaries a chance to express something that they want to tell you. It's not always relevant, but you might capture something. So Bob wants to share, I'm getting my hip replaced next year, and I'm traveling abroad this fall. So maybe him getting his hip replaced is not particularly important to you, but maybe he shares that he's traveling abroad this fall and you get to write him a travel policy. You know, it's just capturing this extra information that the beneficiaries want to share. Here comes the scope. And what the heck is it? Kind of a scary thing for seniors. This is the final step. We warn them, hey, this is just a permission slip, and your headshot does that for you. And then here's our scope. Super clean, easy, highlighted and glowing where Bob needs to initial. He can even, if a POA is doing this for him, power of attorney, they can initial that there. But he goes through and he initials. If he leaves one blank, we'll flag it for him. He picks a signature that best represents him, and boom, he signs and completes. And when he does, he gets this nice screen from you as the agent that says, hey, Dalton from Dalton Senior Solutions will contact you soon. We give you some options as an agent to customize these buttons. Maybe you want to include your calendar link. Maybe you want them to visit your website. You can customize what these buttons say and what links it takes them to. Maybe you have an AEP YouTube video you want them to watch. You could put that in here as well. But as the agent, I just got a text message from RetireFlow. Hey, you got a new submission from Bob B. Let's log in and check it out. What do you know? I'm going to go here to my dashboard. I get a little notification. You have a new submission from Bob Brinsky. Let's log in and check it out. What do you know? Here it is right here, perfectly synced with my BOSS CRM, and I view and download from what I got from Bob. And I got a perfect summary of everything he just shared. His preferred pharmacies, hospitals, physicians, all of his zip, data, county, date of birth, his additional notes, all of his drugs, dosages, quantity, frequency, package, brand of the generic. If you want to print this out and use it to write notes on as a take home for your client, you can do that. And then here's that scope. Signed, dated, initialed, compliant, timestamps with Bob's IP address. And when it's time for me to sign the scope, I just come here to RetireFlow, I press sign, and I fill out my portion of the scope of appointment. And maybe I sent this out and I got it back from Bob, but the day of the appointment, I'm sick and Rob takes the meeting. I can even change it to make sure that it properly reflects Rob's name since he took the meeting with Bob Brinsky. But that's how simple RetireFlow is. And meanwhile, we just created a profile for Bob in Connecture and in BOSS for Agents. Look at that little sync activity. There it is. So that's at its core what RetireFlow is designed to do. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a second, Rob, because I want to pull up my Kaizen account and show you what, but happy to take questions while I'm doing that.
The one question we got here was from Tim, and he was asking, where does RetireFlow pull data from for the pharmacy, RX, and providers?
Great question from Tim. We pull it directly from Connect for Insurance. So the same list you're used to on Connect for Insurance, that is Connecture. That's our data provider on those lookups. Any other questions?
That's all we got so far.
That's pretty good. I'm trying to log in. Okay, what do you know? I'm logged in. Sorry, I go ahead and share my screen here. Give me 1 second. There he is. Okay, so I want to pull up my BOSS account. I have a test account, folks. So usually it would say BOSS right here in the top left. But in my contacts, I got 55 contacts. Here's Bob Brinsky. And now I've got a perfectly filled out profile with all the goods on Bob. I've got his birthday, his phone number, all that additional data that I'm needed, his providers, his drugs, his pharmacies, all ready for me to do whatever I want with. That's what that's what our integration with Kaizen is designed to do. So imagine, and this is really the beauty of all of this, I think, is imagine you're getting ready for AEP and you take your RetireFlow link and you mass blast it out to your people. That's what every agent does who uses RetireFlow. Mass blast it out. Email, text, you name it. We even give you a texting platform built into RetireFlow. it's going to, when your clients complete it, it's going to automatically update their profiles in Connecture and automatically update their profiles in BOSS. So your only responsibility in this is to just send out the link. That's all you have to do. And when your head is spinning, this AEP and plans are being decommissioned, plans are being disrupted, all you got to do in order to stay on top of it is to get fresh, healthy looks, fresh new scopes, fresh new drug lists, doctor lists, all that information from your book. So that way, when they call and they go, you know, there's been a massive disruption for me, you've got all the stuff that you need to go out and run a quote. And now, lastly, I would share for everybody else, there's a but coming. This is how much RetireFlow costs. It either costs $60 a month or $600 for the whole year. But because we've worked so closely with Pinnacle, we've set up a very, very deep discount. You get RetireFlow for 40% off. 40% off with promo code PIN40, PINN 40. That's how affordable it is. You get it 40% off. And we're going to ask for this when you come in to sign up for RetireFlow. So make sure you have this written down, all caps, PIN40. That 40% off ain't going nowhere. Ain't going nowhere. So you can either choose to pay for it monthly or pay for it annually. It's a little bit cheaper if you do it annually. You get 2 months free. But folks, for literally the cost of one client renewing, you can totally save your AEP. And don't take my word for it. Let's see here. I think I have a testimonial slide. Maybe I don't include here. Google us. Okay? Just Google us. 15,000 insurance agents use this platform every single day to coach them through their AEP and their OEP. So if you want to sign up for RetireFlow, you must do so through Connecture. It's on you got to do so inside of Connect for Insurance. This is probably the most complicated step. Once you get it turned on, you're ready to go. Is inside your account overview, inside of Connect for Insurance, you'll see a big gray box that says RetireFlow, and you'll need to sign up here. Use that promo code PIN40, and then you're ready to start mass blasting. All you got to do is give us your headshot and your logo. There's no like loading period, nothing. You could sign up for this in literally 5 minutes inside of Connect for Insurance and be fully integrated with BOSS, sending out RetireFlow surveys, ready to rock this AEP. It's that simple. And I mean, Rob, any other questions come through? Because it doesn't get easier than that.
Someone had a question. How do you customize with a calendar and website?
Great question. In your RetireFlow dashboard, as you set up your survey, we'll ask you if you want to do that. So you simply press Manage next to your survey. This is all on retireflow.com. And this, got to upload your headshot and your logo. And then down here, we have these section called Action Buttons. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to do that. This section called Action Buttons, which you can customize what the button says and where it takes people. It's that simple. And then you just make sure you save your changes when you're done.
That's awesome. Someone was asking, how much is the package if you're doing ACA and Medicare?
That's a great question. So let me do the math on that. So through Connecture, if you wanted it to be integrated with Connecture, it costs $60 a month or $600 for the whole year, right? You get that 40% off, so that's $36 a month. On our ACA platform, that one's a little bit cheaper. It's $50 a month, which you get 40% off. So that would be an additional $30. So if you did Medicare through Connecture and ACA, that would be $66 a month. So for $66 a month, you can send data into Health Sherpa. Maybe you use Health Sherpa as your quoting platform there, and BOSS and Connect for Insurance. Ready to run your quotes. It's that simple.
Wow, so it's almost the cost of just the Medicare with our discount, before the discount,
Oh,
for both.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's after the discount. Before the discount, it would be $110.
Yeah, wow, that's a
You get it
steep
for
discount.
66.
We like
Yeah, with promo code PIN40. Promo code PIN40. And I would also tell you that while we do intake very, very well, we also work hard to provide and share ideas, and we have events that we host. We talk about exactly what we do at our home agency at retireflowevents.com. We host trainings. For instance, tomorrow we've got a training with over 1,000 agents who are going to be there, where we're going to give away AEP templates, things that you should be sending out to your book, and when to send them out. Agents who subscribe to RetireFlow have better AEPs and OEPs. It's that simple. And I think the last thing I want to share, and I'll leave this up while I'm doing it, is a lot of agents go, well, Dalton, you don't know my book of business. My clients are older. They don't like technology. They don't, they don't do that stuff. I say phooey to that. I think that's BS. Here's why. If they have a smartphone, they can answer these 10 questions. And you need them to, because it's going to give you a compliant and secure paper trail of this stuff. It makes you more efficient. And by the way, we're providing, as agents, free services to our clientele. You cannot charge for reviews, plan reviews. That's not compliant. And so if you're going to provide a free plan review for someone, all that you ask is that you put a little good in. Hey, Susie Senior, hey, client Bob, I need you to answer 10 questions for me. It's going to make sure that you're prepared, compliant. It might even illuminate other cross-selling opportunities for you along the way. So, and folks, if you ever have questions about RetireFlow, we're perpetually available on retireflow.com. You can meet with us whenever you want by simply pressing this troubleshoot button. I have a team of people who support me who are available basically 24/7. Our first appointment is tomorrow at 5:20 a.m. Pacific time. So if you ever have questions, we're there for you. This is not something where you sign up for it and you never hear from us again. In fact, you'll hear from us quite a bit. So highly, highly recommend. If you want to sign up for RetireFlow, you must do so through Connect for Insurance in this gray box right here, and use promo code PIN40. And you have a better AEP and OEP because of it.
Love it. A couple questions here about the pricing. There was is that price for renewal as well? That's just as long as you're with Pinnacle, right?
Yes, as long as you get that promo code applied, PIN40, then yes, for renewal as well. Yes, and if you're questioning, do I have that promo code or not? Log into RetireFlow, and in your account settings, you can add it here under payment settings. There's an option for you to put that promo code in there as well. What else?
And then someone else had a question about is it possible to use as an agency? I'm guessing like if they want to send it out as an agency and not just an individual agent.
Oh, 100%. A lot of agents do that. It's very, very simple to do. It's just, instead of putting your headshot, I'd put a group photo. I mean, literally, it's that simple. And then, it's designed to be narrated by a person. So let's say here's my survey, and we ask for first and last name, which is required because, the survey is narrated by the information that you put here. What I would do is I would make my first name Dalton Senior Solutions, if I can spell solutions, and then I'd make my last name Agency. And so that way the survey is narrated by your agency rather than yourself. And it'll be formatted pretty well when you do that. But absolutely, a lot of agents do that. And it's a great thing to do. And you can invite as many people to join your account as you'd like. That's free. That's built in at no cost. So you can log into RetireFlow. I'll show you. In your account settings, you can invite additional users as admins at no cost.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. I don't see any other questions, so we'll give it a couple seconds here. Make sure we got anything. Now's your chance when you have the president of RetireFlow. This man is busy.
Whatever. I'll say this. Next time you're listening to your client, try to spell levothyroxine one letter at a time over the phone. You could have had it beforehand with RetireFlow. So get prepared, get comfortable with this, sign up for RetireFlow, use promo code PIN40 inside of your Connect for Insurance, and you'll be ready to go in 5 minutes. It won't. If you have questions, you can meet with us. We'd be happy to do it. We'd love to do it. But you know, this is your business is at stake. You can spend your AEP listening to your clients try to share their drug list, or you can provide them with quotes efficiently, quickly, let them know if their plan is good for this year or if they need to come in for a meeting. And show up to your meetings prepared. You know, you don't want to have somebody come in and with a purse, a woman bring in a purse full of her prescriptions and spill them out over your desk and go through them one at a time. This is a great way to be prepared for every single meeting that you take.
Yeah, plus two, and I don't think you mentioned this. I've been using this now for the past couple years, pre-AEP. I mean, October 1st, you can be sending this to everybody, and it can really prepare you for the crazy.
Hold on, Rob. Hold on. You know what? You just reminded me of something. Okay, so for the folks who are still participating in this call, tomorrow we got an event called Flow Time, where we're going to be encouraging agents. This is all part of RetireFlow, where we're going to be encouraging agents to begin sending out RetireFlow today to their clients. So imagine you've got all of your clients' book of business fully updated before AEP and OEP start. And within RetireFlow, we give you what we call the Flow Kit, which is 7 templates that you can send. You can literally copy and paste them, steal them from us, and send them out to your book of business. This is what we send to our Part D clients. And it's cut and dry, and we even tell you exactly when to send it. We built a calendar of when you should send out your RetireFlow surveys and which ones you should send out and how to send it out. And we give you all this templates built into RetireFlow at no cost. So
that is awesome.
It's AEP in a box. And so take advantage of it. You know, Pinnacle recommends this because it works. You know, and it's not because it's an idea in practice. Seniors will actually, if you follow along our instructed game plan, our AEP game plan, you're going to walk into AEP with probably 70 to 80% of your book with fresh drug lists, fresh scopes, ready to rock before October 1st. So that way you can spend the time doing what you do best, which is advising people. So sorry, Rob, I just got animated there. All of this
You're good.
RetireFlow. And I want people to use it. You know, it's there for a reason.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is really cool. I didn't know you guys had that. Looks like someone had a question. If you're an agency and you have agents that are attached to the platform, can you separate their books?
Oh, yes. Yes, you can. If you're going to do that, we would recommend that you meet with us. Just go to retireflow.com/demo. Or I'll share my screen again. Just set up a time with us. We can get that totally set up. So that way you can make sure that, Agent Rob can't see what's in Agent Angela's book or vice versa. But you can set it up so you can see everything and then have all those folks separated out. So my recommendation, though, is to just simply go to retireflow.com and set up a demo with us. That's at retireflow.com/demo. And we will train you up. Make sure, just make sure that we get it right. I don't want to set you up on AEP with a system that's a little sideways. So, but 100%, pick a time with us and just tell us you came from Pinnacle so we can make sure to get you that discount.
That's awesome. And then last question here. Someone was asking, is the link that is supplied by you guys, is that something that an agent can make unique?
Yes. So you can make it retireflow.com/Rob. You can make it retireflow.com/ Rob's Senior Solutions. You could make it retireflow.com. Rob is the best ever. You get to pick your own URL when you sign up for RetireFlow. So I'll show you what I mean by this. Under our manage section, you get to customize your unique URL. So you can make it whatever you want. So that way, and I always recommend people make it short, sweet, to the point. Now, if you are integrated with Connecture, that's a little bit more difficult. We do give you QR codes. We give you QR codes for every single one of our surveys, but our Connecture integration is a little bit more complicated. That's why we give you the super link. And that's something that you cannot modify. It's something you just must copy and paste because it's a little bit longer. It's like a longer, uglier URL. But it's super because it updates all of your profiles in Connecture rather than creating a bunch of duplicates. So awesome. Up to you how you want to do it.
Awesome. Well, look, I think we're going to, I know he's a busy man, so I want to end this here and let him do his thing. But look, everybody, I know it's crazy to think, but AEP is right around the corner. This is a fantastic tool. I am an agent. I use it. I highly encourage everybody on the call to at least check it out, and I think, it's worth its weight in gold when, even if it's only a third of your book, fill it out. That's a third less people that you have to run around to trying to get stuff updated. I mean, I probably had 80 people do it last year, so that's 80 less people that I had to, sit with and try to get everything done ahead of time,
That's 80 conversations that you didn't have to listen to, what lotion or cream that they put on their groin. We love our clients. Okay, not to be gross, but we're not doctors. We're insurance agents. So show up to every single meeting with prepared. Use promo code PIN40, all caps. And Rob, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the flow. You'll have a better AEP and OEP because of it.
Awesome. Well, listen, thank you. We appreciate you, Dalton. Stay busy, brother. Everybody on the call, thank you for hanging out with us. And we'll do this again in the very near future. So
please
have a great rest of your afternoon, everybody.
See ya.